Hi, welcome to the Lisa Saunders Show. I'm Lisa Saunders, and I have a good friend of mine on the show today. Who are you?
Okay, Lisa. The quiz today is, my name's Marcus Fisk, and I'm a retired Navy captain, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of the Connecticut Maritime Heritage Festival.
And I am so excited. Every time I ask you about this festival, it gets bigger and bigger sounding with more ships coming in. So just tell us in general what we can expect, and this is what dates is this?
It's running this year, actually, 5 days. It used to be 2 days, went to 3, and now we're up to 5. And it was started 6 years ago on a special decree by the governor to focus on Connecticut's maritime heritage and the industry across the state. So it's a sort of a marketing effort in that regard, but it's more importantly to focus on those things maritime that relate to the state of Connecticut, and it gives us a chance to celebrate that. So we put together a pretty exhaustive calendar of events and fun things to do. Wednesday, the 5th of September, is the first major event of the festival. It's a different one. It's a departure for an effort like this because what we're doing is we're having a Maritime Careers Expo. We're going to try and get high school and junior high school students to come over to the Nautilus Submarine Museum on that Wednesday afternoon, or Wednesday morning from 10 until 12. And we're going to have guest speakers from the maritime industry, shipwrights, sailmakers, some ferry captains, mates, people that are in the marina business, and all those related types of careers that are available to young people. So it's an opportunity to expose them to another line of work and a career that they could have.
So are schools, I guess, being told,
Yes.
bring your kids, students to this?
Yep, we've got about, right now, between 150 and 200 kids from Groton and New London area high schools and junior highs. The tough part is it's the first week of school, so teachers are a little adverse to let the kids out on a field trip the first time around. But we think it's going to be a growing kind of activity, and we're hoping to do similar events like that for adults as well during the rest of the year as a service to
provide the rest of the year?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah. Well, we haven't picked spots yet, but that's the idea, is to try and open it up to adult populations so that folks can understand that there are careers in the maritime industry. It's not your traditional line of work that people immediately think of.
Right.
So that's the first event. Then
now, is there a parade of ships?
There is. There's a parade of ships. The schedule basically runs like this. Starting on Thursday, we have the welcoming ceremony. The governor will be there. Members of the state congressional delegation, state legislature, Groton, Stonington, New London, all the dignitaries will be there to welcome the 3 Coast Guard cutters and the Navy destroyer who are participating, as well as the captains of the other ships. So we'll have about between 14 and 15 ships are confirmed as of right now, various sizes.
And they can all fit?
Oh, they can all fit. Yeah, we've got one of the best waterfronts in the country, so there's actually plenty of room for all those ships.
What's the biggest ship going to be?
The biggest ship, as a matter of fact, was just announced. This year we're happy to have the USS Lassen, DDG-82, guided missile destroyer, Arleigh Burke class.
Wow.
Similar class to the Cole. It was here last year. We had over 7,000 people tour it in 2 days, so it's a big draw.
Wow. So that's going to look really big when I...
Oh, yeah. You're at Fort Trumbull, and you look down the pier at Fort Trumbull, and you're going to see this massive, 82 on the bow of this big gray boat.
Wow.
It's going to be
That's
very
exciting.
impressive. Yeah.
So we can go on that?
Oh, yeah.
Anybody can?
Yeah, and there will be, in fact, you can even reserve times so that you don't wait in line as long.
Oh.
And you have to have a photo ID to get on board.
Okay.
So there is security check-ins.
Okay.
And there's kind of requirements on our website, what shoes to wear so you're comfortable in walking around the ship and that sort of thing. But it's
is there a fee to get
there's
on
no
these?
fee. This is all free.
Oh.
And to our compadres from the Coast Guard, we have 3 Coast Guard ships visiting as well. We've got Coast Guard cutter Ida Lewis. It's a navigational ship, lighthouse ship, and buoy tender. And the Ida Lewis is one of that class, the keeper class, that was named after lighthouse keepers. And she was from New England, and the Ida Lewis is stationed over in Coast Guard Station, Newport, Rhode Island. So she's coming from Newport. We have the Bollard coming, a Coast Guard cutter Bollard coming from New Haven, and then our own albacore from New London here. So we'll have a big Coast Guard presence as well.
So what does that really mean, a Coast Guard cutter?
Well, they have various classes within the cutters. Cutters goes back to the days in the Coast Guard. That's how they classified their ships. They were called revenue cutters way back in
now,
history.
How do you know all this, by the way?
I made it up.
I feel like you know so much about ships. Now, is that because you're in the Navy?
Well, yeah.
And you had to learn that? You learned it in Annapolis when you went to school
too,
there,
but also just because I'm a history buff. So I did learn about, the other parts of the service, the Marine Corps, Coast Guard, and the Merchant Marines. So in my service in the Navy, I met a lot of these officers and enlisted folks. So I got to serve with them in different capacities.
Wow. Okay, go on. So you have Coast Guard cutters.
So we have Coast Guard cutters coming. We have a pretty broad array. I'm just going to kind of go down the list here. Excuse me for using my cheat sheet, but
please do.
There were a few things as I get older that I can't always remember. We're going to have a parade of ships on Friday at noon.
I don't want to miss that. So that's Friday noon.
That's
is the
Friday
parade?
noon. There's a parade of ships. It will be led off by the fireboat Firefighter, which is a 140-foot firefighting ship from Greenport, New York. And they're going to lead off and do the spray and all that stuff.
I've never seen the spray thing. So where should I go to see this?
Well, you'll see it standing anywhere on the waterfront, either Groton or New London side.
All right, since I live on the Groton side, just to make it easy for myself, I'm gonna, if I went to Fort Griswold, I'd see it, or should I go down to where the water taxi?
Probably by the water taxi. And
I'd really
from that
be able
area
to see
south.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, could I get is the water taxi running at that
Oh, the
parade,
water taxi will be running all 5 days of the effort.
Oh, wonderful.
And for sailors and Coast Guardsmen, they're going to ride for free, so they can hit all the spots back and forth across the river.
Oh, that's great. All right, I think that's the way I'm going to do it then, so I can do everything, and that's fun to take that.
Oh, yeah.
To take
They'll have
taxi.
special passes, too. You can check their website for the Thames River Heritage Park, and they have special rates for that whole weekend, as I understand it.
Okay.
So, anyway, the parade will start with the Firefighter, and then we're going to have a number of ships involved, including our own Mystic Whaler from New London.
Now, we have a picture of you guys on the Mystic Whaler.
Yeah.
If we could see that. I love that picture that your wife took.
Okay, left to right.
Okay.
This is a fun group. This is almost like the three captains. We've got Captain Paul Weitzcarver to the left of your screen there. He is the commanding officer of Naval Submarine Base New London, Groton, and next to him is Captain John Edgington, who's commanding officer, captain of the Mystic Whaler, and then yours truly over there waving at the crowd.
You can tell that you're an actor.
Hi, is there a camera on?
I love that.
Well, we have something to do, have to be busy doing something. So.
Now, you are an actor, and I see that you're going to be burning Benedict Arnold. Are you going to have anything to do with that? Or are you just really there on the sidelines?
I'm on the sidelines.
Planning. So we don't get to see you do.
No, the fire department will be there. Oh, yeah. They'll
watching
be there.
the burn. Is he really going to burn?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh! Because when I saw what I thought was Benedict Arnold burning, it was fake flames, and I'm like,
well, no, we don't have a guy. We have a paper mache.
Yeah, I know you're not going to burn a real guy.
I like realism and stuff, but there's a limit to our enthusiasm.
Okay, so you're going to have a paper mache.
Yeah.
Benedict Arnold.
Flock Theater has done this many, many years. So Darren Wood and the gang of thieves over there are putting together their show, and they're kind of modifying it for our festival, which is really nice. It's similar to what the British do.
I can't wait to see that.
For Guy Fawkes Day.
Yes.
And so what they do is there's a fife and drum band that will walk down Bank Street, and then hang a right turn down to the waterfront, then across the piers. With the crowd, they get the crowd agitated, and the actors are all in character and they're all in costume. They have the effigy of paper mache of Benedict Arnold in the cart, and they bring him down to the pier, and then the mayor of New London torches them off, sends them right up at a poof of smoke. Much to the consternation of the city fire departments from all over the region.
But
No,
they're
it's
all
good.
there watching,
Yes,
waiting.
yeah.
And,
So it's a big event. People really like it. Last year we had probably 400 or 500 people that showed up out of everywhere just to see that.
just to see him
follow
burn.
follow that effort, and it was fun because some of the sailors from the Navy ship that was in port last year, the Cole, and the Coast Guard cutters that were here, all those sailors were in uniform, and they were just pulled into this whole event. So it was a lot of
Now,
fun.
other people, once this gets uploaded to YouTube, will be able to watch it and maybe make a trip just to see that. Could you mind briefly explaining why he's burned in effigy in New London?
Well, I don't want to get my history completely wrong,
Okay.
but you know,
He burned New London.
he burned New London
Yes,
during the Revolutionary War.
After he became
Yes.
the traitor.
Yeah,
so
he
that's,
was.
and I didn't know that till I moved
Well,
here.
he's a native of Norwich.
Norwich,
So
yeah.
he knew the terrain pretty well, and he said, "Let's go down to New London and see if we can't whip up a little bad stuff against the colonists, even though they're
Right.
my own home team." So, yeah, when he switched over, in fact, the paper mache has two faces.
Two faces,
Yeah.
yeah, because I remember that. And
Yeah.
I just thought that was wonderful. All right, what else do you want to tell me?
Well, I was going to tell you the parade of ships, because it
Okay.
tells you who's participating. We've got Sailing Vessel Brilliant from Mystic Seaport, which is a
Okay.
gorgeous old ship. We've got the Amistad that's due to
Ah.
appear as well.
Okay.
We will have the Yankee out of Essex, Connecticut. The captain and owner is carrying on the tradition of the Yankee. The Yankee is a ketch, and she's a gorgeous old ketch. And the beauty of the story behind Yankee is that in 1965, she was on the cover of National Geographic magazine.
Oh,
She has circumnavigated the world, I think, 4 times.
wow.
I may be mistaken on the exact numbers,
Right,
but
but you have some movie stars ships coming.
oh yeah, there's some really, really neat ones. We're hoping to have Eros out of Newport, Rhode Island, which is another beautiful, beautiful ship. And we just found out that we are going to receive the visit of Columbia from Panama City. She's a 141-foot schooner. She is absolutely gorgeous too.
Really? It's
So-
making a special trip, or it
Yeah,
happens to
well,
be
they're
in the area?
they're
or what?
up in New England, and they're coming back this way, so they're going to come in, and they currently have the Morgan Cup, which is a cup that we award each year to the winner of the race from Ledge Light out to Race Rock in a triangular pattern and back. She currently holds the cup, and we called the other day to say, you got to bring the cup back because we've got to give it to whoever wins this year.
Well, so this is all something we can watch, this competition.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, some of the best viewing will be at Avery Point, and you can also see it from Ocean Beach Park, because once the parade of ships goes out, the fireboats and all the mechanical ships and steamers will pull away, and the sailboats will get ready to race, and then
So they're racing right after this parade.
right from 1 until 3 will be the Morgan Cup race that happens every year.
Okay.
Then on Friday at 4 o'clock, all the boats come back
Who
in.
can compete in this, though?
All the folks that are participants in the festival.
Oh, so it's kind of unfair, right? Because aren't some kind of slow, or not unfair, but I guess we're all going to be happy.
It'll be fun. It's a great thing to see. Yeah. Some are slowpokes, but that's okay. They'll give it their best.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's going to be really neat.
That
It's
sounds
beautiful
that's just
to
really
see.
fun. I just can't wait to see it.
Yeah. And so then from 4 until 7 at the Hygienic, we're going to have a captain's, meet the captains party. $10 donation to the festival, which is tax deductible.
So you're going to be there so I can meet you if I want?
Oh yeah, I'll be there. Well, because I'm a captain, thank you.
So I can say, oh, Marcus.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So so I'll be able to meet these captains.
Oh yeah,
Oh, my
absolutely.
gosh.
The captain of all the ships, all the Navy and Coast Guard ships will be there, and all the participants. And it's a chance for boat people to stand around and brag about their boats and their ships and stuff, and bragging rights for winning the cup.
I'm sorry, where is that again?
That'll be at the Hygienic.
That's at the
Art Center.
Okay, that big
And
place.
it's the
Okay.
their brand new outdoor pavilion, so it's going to be really
Oh
nice.
my gosh,
yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, that'll be nice. And we're still waiting to hear back on a couple of boats, but I think if everything goes well, we're going to have 15 ships this year. So
Now, what's your title again on this? What are you doing?
I'm the chief operating officer,
So
so
this
I help.
sounds like I don't know how you could possibly coordinate so many moving ships.
Well,
and
we
events
have
and-
really good dock master that knows what he's doing, Dave Crocker. He's been doing this for years.
Okay.
As we've put together a list of all the participants and their specifications, so they'll know and he'll know in advance what kinds of services they need for power, water, that sort of thing, line handlers, and then where they will fit on which piers based on their size and their draft and displacement, that sort of thing.
Yeah, because I was thinking, oh my gosh, and tides, and I don't know, do they have to think about low tide or high tide, or not necessarily because it's so deep?
It's relatively deep there, yeah. It's a good deep water port, and I don't think they're an issue. The only one that's of concern that has to be at Fort Trumbull would be the Navy destroyer, the USS Lassen.
I can't wait to see that. I don't know if I've seen. I don't know that I've ever seen one. Maybe in New York City.
It's a BGB, a big gray boat.
Okay.
It's 505 feet long, 66 feet.
Is it something that airplanes land on, or is that something
helicopters
else?
can land on the stern. They have a helicopter flight deck.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the thing I'm thinking about in New York City where it really looked kind of flat and it's there.
An aircraft carrier?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking
The Intrepid.
of. Okay, that's what I'm thinking of. Is it bigger or smaller than
It's
the
smaller
Intrepid?
than Intrepid, but
Okay.
it's pretty impressive in its size.
So does it still work? Like.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It still works.
Okay, good. So I'll be extra safe that day, right?
It's 20-some years old and it still works.
That's great. That's good news.
Yeah.
Now you also have, aside from ships, you also have, and the party, you also have music and
We do.
dancing.
We have some really interesting, fun things. Thursday night from 6 until 9, we have Swinging on the Pier at City Pier. We get a dance instructor coming out. He'll do. Roger's going to do 45 minutes of basic swing for anyone who's tentative, who's not sure they understand the swing step.
Do you know how to do it?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Not great, but that's why I'm going to take the lesson.
Okay.
And then for the next 2 hours, we're going to have the cartels playing down on the pier, and it should be a lot of fun. Then Friday evening, from 6:30 until 8, before Benedict Arnold burns, our own Dixieland Band, the United States Coast Guard Dixieland Band, that is just phenomenal musicians.
It is.
They're going to do an hour and a half
Heard
concert.
them, certainly.
And they'll be playing. And then on Saturday, we have Visit Ship. We have our Chowder Challenge, a bunch of restaurants. I think there are upwards of 20 different restaurants, including the galley of the USS Lassen. And
really?
The base galley. The base galley is going to
cooks
compete.
from the ships? Oh, that's interesting.
The blue and the gold crew cooking crews from the galley over at Naval Station, Submarine Base, are going to compete. One's going to be down at Fort Trumbull, and the other one's going to be up at City Pier. They'll be competing. I know New London High School has a department in culinary arts. They compete every year. And last year, they came in second place. They had really good chowder.
Is this? I wonder if this is through their tech school, El
I think
Grasso
so.
or
Yeah.
something. Oh.
And it's a really nice event. It goes for about 3 to 4 hours, I believe. So the Chowder Challenge, everybody
I just think
votes.
that's funny about when I moved here. I couldn't believe that every place advertises their chowder. Like even a pizza parlor said we have the best chowder, and I'm thinking, can't I get away from chowder? So it's just great that there's this competition. Are people rating it? Like we eat some and then we rate?
Yeah, you pick your. I think you vote on what the best chowder is. They have little pennants in front of each of the shops. So you get a little cup. You get your chowder. You buy a ticket, run around and sample all the chowders.
Okay. Now, what's your favorite? Rhode Island or Manhattan or New England?
New England.
Is this all going to be New England chowder?
No, they
so
are. It's some are spicier, based on maybe an ethnicity. Some are very traditional. Some are exploratory. It's really become a great competition. It's kind of fun. I think people, their palates will enjoy
But I
it.
feel like I live here, but I want to make sure I'm here at everything. It sounds so fun. Like,
Well, then there's more. So there's wait, there's more.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
So, visit ship again on Saturday. Visit all the ships. And then from 2 until 7 p.m., we're having a Music at the Fort, an Americana concert.
Ah, which fort?
Fort Trumbull. It'll be open to the public. It's free. And we have brought in 4 talented groups in the area of blues, bluegrass, and a little bit of country. Between the 4 groups, they have 13 Grammy nominations.
Wow.
I'd like to just mention some of the names. Lori McKenna is a guitarist and country singer. She wrote the song "Girl Crush" that won a Grammy last year. And then we've got Ruthie Foster. Ruthie is a former Navy sailor who went professional singer, and she just we just watched a piece the other day of her working with Bonnie Raitt in Austin. She's a very, very talented blues singer. Sierra Hull is the first woman ever to receive Mandolin Player of the country, a #1 mandolin player in the country, and she's won it twice as the first woman ever to win it in bluegrass and country music. And she'll be here. And then we close out the evening with the Matt O'Connor Band, which is a big name in country and bluegrass music.
How late is this going till?
It goes from 2 until 9.
Okay.
So you'll have 4 different groups, a little bit of a different style in each.
So
and
just park yourself at the Fort Trumbull.
You'll have a great
all
time.
day and night with
Yep.
my lunch.
Yep.
Are there going to be food trucks, or do I have to pack my stuff?
No, we have a caterer who's going to be there.
Okay.
They're going to have Two Wives Pizza is going to do our catering for the concert.
Oh, okay.
So we've got another local.
So I don't have to pack a picnic.
You don't have to pack a picnic.
I can just bring my money.
In fact, one of the things we wanted to do to encourage people downtown to participate and partake in the restaurants downtown, we're not shutting down any of the streets as other festivals do.
Oh, okay.
We're keeping it all open to attract and try and bring festival events downtown New London to help encourage people having dinner and just seeing what's going on in the evening.
Oh, so it'd be kind of fun, some of those restaurants
Yeah.
that are a view of the water.
Oh, yeah,
I can sit
absolutely.
there. They're going to be hard to get into.
Yeah.
But anyway.
You go elbow your way in. You two can find a place.
Okay.
So those are some of the events that are happening. And one thing I would like to mention about the Lassen, USS Lassen, she's homeported in Mayport, Florida, and only within the past, I think, year to year and a half has she been assigned back in the United States. Prior to that, she was a forward deployed naval forces out of Japan.
Oh, really?
So she spent probably the last 10 to 15 years in very, very heavy operational schedule in the Pacific, especially in the Western Pacific. She did Freedom of the Seas with the Chinese Navy.
What does that mean?
Freedom of the Seas operations, just so that we are showing the Chinese that are trying to build their little fortress on the islands down there that we still have right to navigation.
Okay.
And that they can't arbitrarily declare boundaries.
Are there going to be lectures at the festival or is that something you'll get on the ships where you'll learn these things?
You'll learn a lot on the tours.
Okay.
The touring people that take you around, the Coast Guardsmen and the sailors, usually are pretty darn proud of their ship, and it's kind of fun to watch them.
Uh-huh.
And if you were assigned to a ship, it's really fun to watch them working with the public on telling about their home away from home. There's a lot of pride there, and it's interesting to them, for us to listen to them describe the kind of missions they perform and what happens on the ship.
That'll be really fun.
So and the ship was named, USS Lassen was named for Lieutenant J.G. Clyde Lassen, who was the first aviator Medal of Honor recipient for the Navy in Vietnam. He flew an SH-2 helicopter, a Sea Sprite helicopter, under fire at night to go rescue 2 F-4 Phantom pilots out of a jet who had bailed out. He went on a search and rescue mission to rescue them. And in doing so, they couldn't find him. They could hear him flying, but because they were afraid of being shot down, they didn't have their lights on. So Lieutenant J.G. Lassen turned on his lights on final approach so that the guys on the ground could see them.
Right.
He found them and made the approach under fire from the enemy.
Wow.
And got back to his next ship with 5 minutes of fuel left.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was some kind of flying.
I have goosebumps. I love these stories. And you
Yeah.
actually write a lot of stostories.
Yeah, that was just amazing stuff.
I gotta have you come on another time so we can just talk about some of the things you've written. Because they're pretty fascinating.
So, and Navy destroyers, and I think they still are today, are named. They were originally named for Medal of Honor recipients and Navy Cross recipients.
Okay.
Navy or Marine.
Do they still christen ships?
Oh yeah, they still christen them and then do the commissioning and everything.
Okay.
They man the ships and man the rails and everything.
Same thing with the submarines, right?
Oh yeah.
Will there be any submarines that people can see going up and down
No,
the Thames
no.
or whatever?
That like Captain Weiscarver said, it's a little tough to do visit ship for a submarine. They have to have a lot more water under the keel, even when they're sitting on the top. So, yeah. But sometimes
I've never been. I don't. Like I said, I don't think I've ever seen it destroyed. That's going to be pretty. And I've never been on a cutter. I've never been on a lot of these kinds of.
Well,
ships,
you've got an open door.
Okay.
To see all these wonderful ships and see all the different missions they perform.
Yeah.
Another thing about the events on Saturday at 1 o'clock is the U.S. Coast Guard Search and Rescue demonstration. Now they're going to do a sea and air rescue, which will be shown right in the Thames, right off of Groton and New London. So you'll be able to see that from the city waterfront in New London and then from waterfront in Groton as well. And it's a phenomenal piece of work because you're able to see the coordination between the boat crews and the helicopter crews as they coordinate a rescue.
Do they throw you in the water? Or?
No, I don't get thrown in.
Who are they rescuing? Like, is there?
They have a volunteer.
That
usually a very little scared Coast Guardsman.
So it's not a Benedict Arnold's paper mache thing before he gets burned.
Yeah,
it's
really,
a
really
real person volunteers, and we get to watch how this would happen. We get to watch them lifting out of the air and stuff like that.
They pick them up out of the water and everything. Oh yeah.
Now you have something that my husband's going to find interesting. Something about beer, you said. What was this?
Oh, beer. Well, we're very proud to say. I am a sailor, so I can talk about beer. No, I asked the question early on, is there, you watch television, you see these things, the official toothpaste of the U.S. Olympics or something. And I said, well, what about, we have local beers that are brewed in this area. Is there any chance that we can have a logo on a beer that's brewed locally? And so we went and had discussions with Thames River Greenery.
Now we only have about a minute and a half.
We're good to go.
Okay.
This is 30 seconds tops.
Okay.
And the beauty of it was they said, yes, we would very much like to. Safe Harbor Beer, which is brewed locally, is agreed to become the official beer of the Connecticut Maritime Heritage Festival.
Fun.
And so that's really a neat thing. And so we're very excited about having our own official beer for the function.
Well, that alone,
Yeah, that alone's good. So, and you can find out all these efforts and all the events that are going on the website at www.ctmaritimefest.com.
Yes.
It'll have the update on all the ships and all the information right there.
Well, I can't wait, and I'm so excited to know you, the guy behind the scenes. So thank you, Marcus, for coming
Lisa.
on my
You
show. And I will see you around town, and I will see you, my TV audience, next week. Thank you for watching.